So before I go into it, um, these are just the basic groups that our food is made of, right? There's carbohydrates, there's proteins, fats, there's minerals, there's vitamins, and there's water, right? If you do want to go back, I know it was recorded also, the talk. Please do see it. Please do go over it, and then a lot of today's conversation will make more sense, inshallah, as well. So, what is inflammation? Does anybody know what inflammation is and why we should be even concerned about it? Why should we be reducing it? Inflammation. So, Dr. Saab, what is inflammation? Absolutely. So, inflammation is our is the way that our body tries to heal itself, right? That's inflammation. Absolutely. So, anytime we get an injury, right? You're running, you twist your ankle, inflammation, right? You eat something, you get diarrhea, inflammation. You get an infection, flu, inflammation, right? Allergies in Texas, inflammation, right? So inflammation is the way that the body tries to heal itself. It's a good thing. Fever, because of inflammation, right? So the body is trying to heal itself. The body is trying to kill the bacteria and the viruses in itself. Raises the temperature. A lot of bacteria die, right? So inflammation is good. When is it bad? When is inflammation bad? When it doesn't go away. When inflammation stays, it becomes bad. And all chronic illnesses are based in inflammation. So, diabetes, hypertension, heart attack, stroke, migraines, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, everything, every chronic illness is inflammation that never went away. So, illness or us feeling bad, us feeling sick over a long term, when we don't have energy in the morning, when we wake up in the morning, we don't want to start the day. We feel depressed, we feel worried, we get OCD, we get nightmares, we can't sleep properly, we get asthma, we get diabetes, all these things. All of them are based in inflammation. I want to emphasize this point. This is very, very important. Because if we can figure out how to decrease inflammation in our system, alhamdulillah, we have figured out how to remain healthy. So there are several ways that we can address inflammation. We are talking about food. How do we address inflammation through food, right? Through nutrition. What kind of choices do we make that decrease the inflammation? So, anybody knows signs of inflammation? Like, how do we know that our body is inflamed? Like, the common things that happen when we are not feeling well. Same thing. How do we know that we are inflamed? Any inflammation. So if I injure myself, what are the few things that happen? Like, let's say I injure my hand, right? Swelling, Hotness. Yes. Pus can happen. What else? Pain. I'm sorry? Color changes. Color changes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Those are things that happen, right? If the same thing happens all through our body, that's body inflammation. So we feel hot. You can feel pain, right? So that is, I think, inshallah, few things to decrease inflammation, right? And inshallah, out of all of these, we will focus on the first one today, inshallah. We can make each one a lecture, inshallah. But today we'll just make the first one as our focus. So how to eat to decrease inflammation, right? This is something that should be there in all our community should know about it. Because if we've got good energy, if we've got good motivation, if we have got good hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is when we will be at our best. Believe it or not, there is all those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us to, His rahmah. One of the ways His rahmah comes is to give us good health. It is in good health that we are the most useful to our children, most useful to the people around us, most useful that we can do other things. If we are not in good health, we struggle, we become mean, we become angry, we get in pain, we don't want to do things. So this, and inshallah, when our Sheikh is also going to be here, you might ask him also. A lot of the Sunnah is based on ways to decrease inflammation. A lot of our Sunnah. So, active lifestyle, right? Managing weight, get enough sleep, stop smoking, no alcohol, deal with stress, right? All of those things, they are ways to beat inflammation. So does anyone remember from last time about some of the things that you might have done to make a change in your diet? Any changes? Anybody make any changes in their home? In their personal choice of foods? Subhanallah. So you increased lentils. That was great. So by increasing lentils, you're increasing, inshallah, the fiber. You're increasing protein, right? And by increasing lentils, you are decreasing some of these inflammatory foods, because now you're eating healthy food, automatically the unhealthy foods go down. Anything else? Anybody else make any small change? SubhanAllah, brown rice, yes, that was another one. Brown rice. Brown rice. How was that? How did you feel after the change in brown rice? It is getting used to it. Brown rice is an acquired taste, inshallah. That's amazing. That's amazing. Did any of you, increasing lentils or increasing brown rice, did you notice an improvement in something in your health? Okay, so exercise also along with the lentils. Okay. Inshallah, my purpose today is that we go over somewhat of a menu, right? Like, what is a good breakfast that you can eat that is anti-inflammatory? What is a good lunch? What is a good dinner? Like, just a random, so that you can implement this, right? Like, so we are not talking about high-level things, proteins, carbohydrates. We're talking about specific details, right? So, But these are the things that we want to avoid. So refined carbohydrates, so white bread, pastries, right? Those are things that are increasing inflammation. So think about all those illnesses that we talked about, all those things that we talked about. This will take you in that direction. French fries or fried foods will take you in that direction. Soda, sugar, sweetened beverages will take you in that direction. Right? Red meat, too much of red meat, and processed meats will take you in that direction. Margarine and some of those things will take you in that direction. And we talked last time, if you remember the quiz last time, the +3s or the highest points in all of those quizzes were to foods that were fighting against inflammation. Does anybody remember some of those foods that were like really, so pulses was one, right? Lentils was one. And some other ones are over here. Olive oil is another one. Zaitun, right? Fruits, vegetables, fatty fish, nuts, green, leafy greens, right? So these are, so let's put it all together. So, mashallah, we are a multicultural place, right? Like there's a lot of people that come from different cultures. Each one has a cultural breakfast, right? And then we have our home culture that has a particular type of breakfast or lunch or dinner. But if you see, most of us, we eat the same foods over and over and over again. We don't do a lot of experimentation. It's the same foods that we eat that get cooked again and again, that get eaten again and again. So, inshallah, if we come up with, most people eat the same breakfast all the time. So if you change your breakfast, then suddenly you will be eating that constantly. And over a period of time, inshallah, it'll start making a difference in your health. So let's start with a breakfast. Out of these inflammatory foods, anti-inflammatory, what is a normal breakfast that, does anybody want to share what they have for breakfast? I can share. Eggs. What's that? Cheese. What's that? Oats. Masha, that's an amazing breakfast. Very healthy breakfast. Granola. That's a very healthy breakfast. Mashallah. What's that? Cornflakes. That's another thing that people eat in breakfast. So, like, who eats paratha? Do you know what paratha is? Paratha. No paratha. So, sometimes paratha. Okay. Special breakfast is paratha, yes. So paratha was one of those things I used to eat all the time, right? Paratha and egg, right? That was like and then I stopped eating paratha. What's the issue with paratha? Do you know what paratha is, everybody? So paratha is like, do you know what roti is? It's fried roti almost. But it's fried, that's the problem with it. It's fried. Yes, it's made with the white flour. So then I stopped eating that. So there's some very good kind of foods that you're talking about. Oats, excellent food to eat. Cornflakes. What is the problem with cornflakes or any cereal? So it's refined carbs. So when you take carbohydrates in the morning or cornflakes in the morning, what happens to your system? So suddenly you have this high glucose in your system, right? And you have a lot of insulin that goes in into trying to decrease the glucose, and your glucose goes down. And the minute that your glucose goes down, you get adrenaline that gets pushed into your body to raise the glucose again. And that is the time that inflammation starts. That is the time that people start feeling a little shaky, almost like they've been running, they're nervous. So a high carb breakfast will make you feel more anxious during the daytime, will make you crash after 2 hours or so, will give you difficulty with focus because you're down, will make you more angry actually over a period of time. You see how conflicts in the morning can set you up. Right? What's the other thing with cornflakes or cereal? That's a great point. So brother says that oat is also carbs, right? So how come oats is fine and cornflakes is problematic, right? So, sorry? Yes, so exactly. So brother says that the difference is fiber content. So with cornflakes and with most of the cereals, the minute that you eat them, all the glucose goes into the blood immediately. Right? If there's fiber, what happens to the glucose? It goes into the blood bit by bit by bit by bit. So your body is getting used to while the carbohydrates or the blood glucose is rising. Right? So right. So brother saying is that with all cornflakes or just with sugar cornflakes? So most of the cornflakes, and inshallah, I was thinking of doing the next class with reading the back of all the boxes, right? Like, how do we see what is in foods, right? Like when we are selecting foods you go to grocery, and how do you see that? So for cornflakes, you will notice that they are mostly about 23 to 30 grams of carbs in one serving. Right? Most of the cereals are around that. That's a lot of carbs right in the morning. So that can create a little bit of a problem. What's that? All processed foods have that. Yeah. Yes. So if it is something that is quick to eat, if it is something that does not require a lot of effort to make and you get it in a box, chances are it's going to be a problem. Right? So oats have carbs also, but they have a lot of fiber in it, so it's a good breakfast thing. So some of the things that I've heard in a good breakfast so far are like oats, right? Easy to make, very easy to make. You get them 2 minutes in microwave, ready to go, right? What were some of the other things that you said? Egg. Egg is a very, we can talk a little bit about egg. What else? Cheese. Granola, very, very healthy. Once again, a lot of fiber, right? So you're using all of those, and that will keep your energy good throughout the morning, inshallah. Right? Like if you use some of those things, you will feel less hungry, right? You have gotten your fiber, right? That will improve your digestion, not cause problems with constipation. So constipation is one of the biggest things that gets better. Here's another one that is beans. Have you tried beans in the morning and breakfast? It's another very high fiber, high energy. Chia seeds, very good. Chia seeds are really good. Chia seeds you can put on beans, you can put on yogurt, you can put on cheese, you can put sometimes on oats also, right? Great breakfast. Great, those are great breakfasts. What other things? So sister says smoothies. Smoothies, yes, you can put chia seeds in smoothies. Smoothies, Jazakallah for mentioning that. Smoothies is a great idea, right? You're in a hurry, you make a smoothie. let's say some people who are living in college or don't have that time to cook in the morning, you know, oats are very good, quick food to eat. Smoothies are very good. Like you have a bunch of stuff, you put vegetable in there, you put fruits in there, you put chia seeds in there, you put some nuts in there, and you've got a pretty good smoothie. Right? What do you? What's that? Okay, I've never tried it. Oats and smoothies is, alhamdulillah. Okay, so you can put oats in smoothies also. You can put a whole fruit in smoothie also, right? With all the rind and the coating and everything. So that is something that is a very quick, healthy, nutritious breakfast. The rolled oats and which one? That's a great question. So it will not. It's the same thing. You can put it in anything. It'll inshallah stay the same. Inshallah stay the same. So so those are great great ones. Eggs. What do you think about eggs? Somebody said eggs. Good choice. Not a great choice. Depends. That's a great answer. Double-edged sword. Subhanallah, depends, exactly. So, is it anti-inflammatory or not? Subhanallah, depends how you make it. That's one big thing. If you fry it, it's different, right? But there's another thing also, and this is just like, so the the fat in the yolk, it depends upon whether the egg is organic or non-organic. So it'll be actually inflammatory if it's non-organic. So they measure egg whether it's good fats or not good fats. So omega 3s or omega 6, omega 7s. So omega 3s are more in eggs that are actually organic. So are fats good or not good? So it depends on the kind of fat, right? Depends on kind of the fat. Egg fats, what happens to egg fats? Egg fats are the very few little things that have something that goes directly to the brain, increases memory, increases mood. It's called lecithin. It's also found in sunflowers. People make it, but it's not there in our diet at all. So egg yolk, egg kind of things are really good so people who are trying to memorize the Quran, inshallah, who are in students who are coming up with a test, excellent food, eggs, right? If somebody's got heart problems, are eggs good or not good? So it's a tricky thing. Ask your doctor, right? So sometimes it can be good and sometimes it can't. But so there's no one kind of a thing. So if that is the case, ask your doctor. Okay. Egg white is rich in protein, right? So meaning that if you're walking inshallah every day, right, and you're hoping that your legs stay strong, so that we can move around, we can be mobile, we don't fall, right? Like you want to give your legs proteins, you want to give your muscles proteins, right? So egg whites, excellent. Great. Any other questions about breakfast before we move on? Yes. So our young brother over here also has a question, and you also have a question. So, sure, let's. Okay, so
Pancakes.
pancakes are the best thing, right? Pancakes are amazing. You like pancakes?
Yeah.
Pancakes are amazing, right? Okay, good. Just have a lot of. How many pancakes do you eat in the morning?
One.
One. Okay. Do you want to increase that to two, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good job. Pancakes are great. Pancakes are great. Keep up the great work. Peanut butter is full of proteins. Full of proteins. So I'll just emphasize one thing over here, right? All the things that we're talking about, right? These are ideal things. The big thing is having enough to eat. Our younger generation is actually having difficulties because of learning disorders, of all of those things, because they don't get enough calories. Or they're eating things that they don't have that adventurous taste. They don't try anything else because sometimes we are too hard on them. So let them eat what they want to eat, but they should be eating enough. Now, mothers, for example, who want to make a pancake healthier, how do they make a pancake healthier? What can they do? Subhanallah, exactly. Sesame seeds. You make it with oat? Okay. Alhamdulillah. So this is amazing. So sister says over there, she says that to make that healthier, she uses a different flour, right? So if you use a high fiber content flour, right, that suddenly makes the pancake a little bit more heavier as well. But you can get away with that consistency. But yes, so suddenly now you have a pancake that you're getting some proteins in, right? You can put bananas also inside it, like so that you can make the sugar more come from natural sources, right? And similarly, like instead of, let's say, a lot of maple syrup, you can use like a good or margarine. You can use good butter, like unsalted kind of butter, or even salted butter for kids, and then use a little bit of honey on it, right? If there's anything, like you can use something like manuka honey, which is actually antibacterial in nature, and so and that is very good. That's full of nutrition, right? You can put some sesame, like sister said, you can do that. Pancakes are great. That batter is great to hide things in. So you can hide a lot of stuff in there. Like if you want to give certain, like chamomile or herbs or things like those, you can hide those things in there. And they can improve digestion in children. So with nutrition, you are treating almost all those things that you would use medicine for or things like that, right? But
is wheat flour okay?
Flour is good. Wheat flour is good. Fiber with the high fiber, like so, that would be good. Whole wheat better. Okay. Okay. Oh yes, sister. So sister asks a very good question. She asks about intermittent fasting, right? Like there's a lot of people who are doing intermittent fasting right now, and she says, is that a good thing? Because what happens in intermittent fasting is that, do you guys know about intermittent fasting? So, okay, so just for some people. So you basically eat in windows, right? Like you might eat for 6 hours and not eat for 18 hours, right? And so people who do that, they stop eating maybe at 6 p.m. and then they start eating again at maybe 12 p.m. So they eat from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. and stay hungry all through. So there's a lot of diets out there, right? There's the ketogenic diet, there's the simple carbohydrate diet, there's intermittent fasting, there's so many diets, right? Paleolithic diets, and you name it. Those diets, the best way to think about those diets is that diets are to be prescribed by somebody who knows what they're talking about. They're not to be taken from magazines. They're not to be taken from friends, right? Like, I tried this, you try this. That's not a great way to do it, right? Diets are good only if they're being used to treat something. So diets, if there is certain weight loss that needs to happen, then that diet can be used to do that. Intermittent fasting is great for certain conditions. So it's great for insulin resistance, for example. Very, very good for that. Right? Insulin resistance is when we've been eating too much sugar, our body really does not know what to do with sugar. Now, the sugar runs high. So our body has really forgotten how to decrease the sugar. You know, it can throw in a lot of insulin, throw in a lot of stuff, but our body is just immune to it. That's insane. And when that happens, then there's a lot of other things: menstrual problems, hormonal problems, testosterone problems, along with heart disease and diabetes and all that stuff, liver problems start. So intermittent fasting, great for that. Of note, women should not be doing too much intermittent fasting over a long period of time. It messes with their hormones. So once again, there are side effects to all these diets. You know, diets are like a prescription. What we're focusing on is just general diets, right? Like general measures. There's some people who have rheumatoid arthritis. They have even stricter anti-inflammatory diets. They are on an autoimmune diet, right? Like that's a very, very strict version of anti-inflammatory diet. It's a different version. But you're absolutely right. Intermittent fasting is great for what it does, like to decrease insulin resistance, and absolutely. Yes. So the question was, please correct me, does skipping breakfast cause weight gain and type 2 diabetes? Migraines. Okay. So skipping a meal is something that we should do with, once again, it's type of a diet, right? Like if you skip meals. So it should be done with some thought. So if you skip breakfast, and I think I might know why you're asking, but yes, it can cause problems with a lot of things. Especially it is true in our young population, right? Like they get up in the morning, they're not hungry, they're ready to go to school, they go to school without breakfast. It is very difficult for young people to, it's just one other thing. Why do you want to waste time having food when you could be having fun, right? And be doing things. And that makes sense. I might have done the same thing when I was young. But if we can, it will help in better retention, better memory, better school performance, less fighting. ADHD is better controlled, right? Headaches can definitely happen. Migraines can definitely happen. Migraines, it depends on what is the trigger. So if the trigger is low blood glucose, then yes, skipping breakfast can cause it. But migraines can happen because of many other reasons also. Like there's some magnesium deficiencies, B2 deficiency, there's some other deficiencies that can cause that as well. So migraines. Okay. Type 2 diabetes, the thing is if you continue missing meals, your metabolism slows down. So people who are dieting, they're actually dieting, but they're not eating too much, but their metabolism is also slowed down, so they don't lose weight. So as I said, right, like it has to. All right. Should we move to lunch and dinner quickly? Very quickly, because I think we're almost done, out of time. These are some where you can actually go online and you can create a diet for your household. It'll tell you what your goals are and it'll give you a recommendation for various diets that are out there. Lunch and dinner. Anybody want to quickly share lunch? I think we might not have time today to do justice to it. Maybe inshallah we can do it the next time. We meet like second.
One question my son has.
What about rice?
Rice is amazing. Rice is great. Do you like rice? You like rice?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And what do you like to put in rice?
Shrimp.
Shrimp is amazing. Good choice. Good choice. You've got a good taste. That's amazing. So rice is amazing, right? Like what do you make rice out of? What do you put in rice that becomes very important? Great thought. So, our young children, they are very, 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 very inquisitive about the things that they eat. It is so important to get them involved in these discussions. So important. So they can continue having what they want to eat, but just make a little bit of a change in it, and suddenly now they feel good about it as well. So, inshallah, I think we're at Isha time, but we meet second Friday of the month. And inshallah, our next is going to be in October, second Friday of the month. And, we can go over some of the lunch and the dinner kind of stuff. But we've been having a conversation about, please make one small change. Right? Like we're talking about it. Have a conversation with your child about one small change. Say that this is one small change we are making in our home today. Please make that change. Just one small change. Yes, brother. What's that? Diet soda. Diet soda is also. So, brother is asking, this is soda. How about diet soda? So, diet soda is better than no soda, like the full soda, right? But inshallah, diet soda should be a step in the direction of water or green tea, or maybe sometimes those fizzling water, the sparkling water maybe. So diet soda has aspartame in it. That can be toxic and it can be inflammatory as well. It can be toxic to the brain cells. So diet soda is all. And then if you're drinking diet soda, often you're drinking caffeine in it, which can cause then too much caffeine can cause hormonal problems and some of the other problems related to. So nothing is bad. It's how much you drink. If you drink one diet soda every 2-3 days, sure, enjoy it. If you're drinking it every day, 3 or 4 of them every day, then it becomes a problem. So, but inshallah, the best thing, ahsan, is water, right? And green tea, inshallah. Yes. Yes. That's a great question. So how do we know that our body is in a state of inflammation? That's a great question. So like we were talking about, you feel tired. You feel not rested. You have problems with weight gain. You have problems with wanting to eat more. You have problems with brain fog, meaning you can't focus. You have problems with getting tired now and then. After meals, you get tired, right? So many. You just don't feel good. What's that? Problem with sleep is a big one. Yes, doctor. Problem with sleep is a big one. Yes. So when you're in inflammation, sleep is just not good. All right. Jazakallah for participating in the discussion. And